Either
Bronze,
way.
yeah, I think talking about you talked about the layer ones, layer twos. We had some news that came out specific to Solana. Let me go ahead and pull this up. This is specific to Solana and their partnership with Visa. There it
Yeah.
is. Let me know you can see that. All right,
I see it.
there it is. So they're predicting now. Can Solana reach sky high price of 1,000 per? Um, Now it's currently right around $20. Moving at 1977 now, $19.77. This was this was actually yesterday, so that price action may be a little bit behind, but that should be running right around that. It's still on a downward momentum when you take a look at the charts, but this news is certainly welcomed. And Visa has been doing these sort of things for a very long time, years. They've been testing with Ethereum. It makes sense that they're moving towards taking a look at other chains such as Solana due to the fact that they can keep costs down per transaction. And the speed of that network obviously is leaps and bounds over what Ethereum can currently do. Not to say that Ethereum is going to be stuck in its current state. Vitalik and the team is working very hard towards Ethereum 2.0. So we do expect good things in that space, but certainly it makes sense for Visa to focus in on this. Now, Bronze, you brought this to my attention this afternoon. What are your
Mhm.
thoughts on this?
I I like Solana, but I'm not really. I don't think I'm fully convinced with Solana. Uh,
Mhm.
with Solana, there was I when I first experienced it, there was a game, a Web3 game called Star Atlas. I mean, still in development. When they released where you can buy vehicles and spaceships, the network crashed, and that kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. It wasn't able to handle that influx. Hopefully, they improved that. That's been a couple of years ago, and hopefully, it's been improved since then. The bullish thing about Solana, it's they're constantly growing their ecosystem into the consumer space. Like I think a couple of months ago, I talked about that one phone, that Solana Saga Web3 phone, that's built with Android. So I was kind of surprised when I did see Visa using Solana. I thought they were just gonna. I mean, it's good, right? They're kind of testing out and they're diversifying like different chains. But I was thinking that they were just going to stick to Ethereum. But yeah, it's good to, because we're still early and to go ahead and experiment. I don't know if that's the right word, but beta test maybe other using other chain. I mean, why not use XRP? To me, XRP is solid. I want to see XRP put to the test on stress tests on products, because I've seen Solana, I've seen AVAX, I heard about Cardano. I want to see all these put to the test. I've seen the kinks in AVAX and Solana in the past, so hopefully it'll be improved. Um, in the future, right before when it's really prime time.
Yeah,
What game
no
is
doubt.
this?
Star Atlas.
Oh, sorry. See, that's different. Wow. Okay, so that is different. Like I said, I got into it like a couple years ago, so this is actually an improvement. I didn't know about this gameplay right here.
Well, and of course, understand this is what they're showing the world, and not necessarily maybe what the world is actually playing.
Right.
Right. So, but I agree. I think to your point, it makes sense that Visa is testing available chains out there. Have those partnerships, start to work with them. While I agree that Solana may not necessarily be the one. You as you know how I feel about this. Ethereum is the future. Is the future which is now, but also in its future state. I really think that when Ethereum 2 comes out, it's going to remain on top. It's just going to keep it on top. But it is interesting to see what else is out there, and it makes
Right.
sense that players like this are also really doing a deep dive in.
Right. That it also makes me think about, we are still in the early stages, right? We are like what, in the Ask Jeeves, or we're like in AOL days, and maybe even before that. I'm waiting. Like each generation or time goes on, there's an technology that it has emerged, or that will emerge. Uh, Improving on from its predecessor. Do you think Ethereum can withstand that, or do you think there's going to be like a Ethereum killer that's going to be as solid, as secure, but faster and cheaper?
I mean, listen,
You
I
know,
don't doubt that. I mean, things change, right? At one point, Kmart was everything to the U.S., right? And along came Walmart, and just well took number one spot, and then totally demolished Kmart. And then along came Amazon, and just knocked the crap out of that. But then, of course, took over the damn world. But I think that to your point, I don't believe that Ethereum will remain on top forever. However, if it is made the universal chain in which all things transact upon, then good luck trying to ever knock it off. Because as the um, digital currency comes online for the individual countries, they need to transact on some network. Now they can cross chain, and I'm sure they'll probably think about doing that. But if you had one network that is not controlled by a single government, a single country, a single entity of any type, no company owns it, then it makes sense that Ethereum is it. It is not controlled by a country. It is not controlled by a single entity. It is that does have a governance, but the players on each of it have players very much like the UN. They are from all over the world, from all different countries and all different backgrounds. So that's why I have high hopes for Ethereum. But I do think that will they remain number one? I don't know. We'll have to see
right,
what the governments of the world's put out there. They may come up with their own network. G6 may say, boom, Ethereum fork. We got our own now. We don't need it. And we have the
right,
best minds in the world, think tanks all over, coming up with the best ideas to make it safer, backed by FDIC, and I don't know,
yeah.
more
It's
control.
right, and it gets to that point where, like, yeah, like, okay, I mean, if the government makes their own, then what's the difference, right? It's not decentralized, and that's what this whole, you know, that's what the whole thing came about. That's how Bitcoin came about. Was It's decentralized, not governed by anyone.
Nah.
And
The way that I see it, decentralization this moving forward is nothing more than a dream. I feel like a lot of people that want to invest their hard-earned money want that to be protected in some way. They want the governance of it. They want someone to protect them from the bad that's out there. They only
right,
want it when something bad happens to them. Unfortunately, there's a lot of bad that happens in the space. A lot of bad actors. We saw that over the past 2 years. Shoot, we've seen that over the past inception of this whole project. Call it project, right?
right,
So,
yeah, definitely Wild West. When you talk about cross chain, it kind of gets. I feel like it's going to get really complicated, right? It's like it needs to be kind of dwindled down. It needs to be, I would say, like five top chains in the world. I think eventually it's going to happen to that. There's going to be some regulations, and it's going to be like kind of like a last man standing. Because to me, it's just like it gets all confusing. It gets discombobulated when you have cross chain of 100 type of thousands. It just gets really confusing, and that's when security comes into place,
We
right?
already
So
have the design for it. The design is already in place. In fact, our space mimics that design, which is the exchanges of the world. We already have all of the projects, all the companies, call it companies, Coca-Cola projects trading on the exchanges of the world, right? The exchanges in Japan, the exchanges in the US, etc. China, all the big countries have the exchanges. What would be the difference? There's- We're already doing cross chain, really, if you take a look at it, except this is supposed to be decentralized. And there's a large audience now in the space saying we need governance, we need to be protected. Well, okay, we're going to get it. You're going to get it. And the banks are going to take over, and this is how it is, right? The rich remain rich. They're going to continue to steal as you continue to sell. Hold on, buy now. Not financial advice, but I can tell you what, that's what I'm doing. And that's my 2 cents.
boom.
Boom.